Hello, everybody. I am your teacher, Lydia, for the advanced class here on SEDA College Online Live. Thank you so much for joining us. We're streaming through YouTube. And if you're here for our live cast, you can comment on the side and give us your answers to activities, questions, whatever it is. I'll be here to answer them for you. So I'm teacher Lydia, and I teach the advanced class. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's your second, third, millionth time, well, we're so happy to have you back. Thank you for coming. I want to remind everybody that it's really important to have a pen and write down the date and all your notes in your notebook. In my class, you always need a pen and a notebook. It's super important to make sure you take notes and write things down throughout the lesson to really put all this knowledge into your long-term memory. It's all about retention, holding on to the information. If you just learn it once and think about it once, what's the point? It's going to fly out of your head. Okay? So we've given some time for everybody to arrive here. Let's remind ourselves about all the wonderful courses that we have at sedacollegeonline.com and our really cool and fun podcast on Spotify. So remember, if you don't have Spotify, you can sign up for free for a short term just to listen to our podcast. And the podcast is super good for your listening practice, vocabulary, lots of interesting things. You can compare different accents of different guests that we have on the podcast. We have a new one that just came out on the 20th of April, so check it out. All right, I'm teacher Lydia. Let's get going. Okay, so today's lesson is all about public speaking, and this is part 1. Tomorrow we're going to do part 2. I found a really interesting article from Harvard Extension School, which is all about professional development, that gives us 10 tips on how to be great public speakers. So today we are going to cover 5, and tomorrow we'll cover the other 5. Let me read my little description for you. Right here I have a little description for you, and it says, in this 2-part lesson, we will examine tips from 2 articles. Actually, I think I'm just going to go to the 1 article. I was going to do 2 and compare. Maybe tomorrow we'll look at a bit of the second article, but we're really going to focus on the first article for great public speaking. We're going to learn and analyze new vocabulary in a professional context and practice our pronunciation. We're looking at articles that native speakers would read. So there's a lot of native colloquialisms in them too that we will be able to examine. A lot of them are formal or informal. So it's going to be a good opportunity for you to practice what it's like to read an article like a native. Let's get started. Okay. So this is the introduction to the article, and the article is called 10 Tips for Improving Your Public Speaking Skills, and it's by Marjorie North. The article is on the Harvard Extension School website, and it's copyright 2020. I'll start reading it for you. Snakes? Fine. Flying? No problem. Public speaking? Yikes. Just thinking about public speaking, routinely described as one of the greatest and most common fears, can make your palms sweat. But there are many ways to tackle this anxiety and learn to deliver a memorable speech. In part 1 of this series, Mastering the Basics of Communication, I share strategies to improve how you communicate. In part 2, I examine how to apply these techniques as you interact with colleagues and supervisors in the workplace. For the 3rd and final part of the series, I'm providing you with public speaking tips that will help you reduce your anxiety, dispel myths, and improve your performance. So, when it says I in the second part, the lower paragraph, that's Marjorie North, the writer of the article, speaking in the first person. And I have a couple of questions for you guys over here in this section. Number 1, what is the purpose of the first part of the article? Number 2, what is the author trying to communicate? Number 3, what do the words in this color mean? So, I don't know if it's like blue-green, that color to me. Here and here. Okay? What do those words mean throughout the article that are in that color? I'm going to give you guys some time to figure that out. I dropped the cap of my pen. About, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. And remember, if you have a dictionary that you want to use or your favorite website, go for it, my friend. Using your tools is important, but write down those definitions after you get them off that website or out of the dictionary. When you write it, that body memory is really going to make everything go into the old brain. Okay, so let's get 2 minutes on the clock here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds for you to look at those words in blue and start to think about these questions, the 1, 2, 3 questions here. Do the best that you can. And we'll get some nice classical. You know I love my classical. All right, take your time, people. You can do this. You're doing great. Wonderful. Perfect timing on the music. Okay. So, let's check out what the meaning of these new words is. All right? Okay. The first one we saw was routinely, and that means commonly. Then we saw make your palms sweat. This part of your hand is your palm. So a lot of times when people are nervous, they get sweaty palms. So make your palms sweat is make you nervous, provoking a physical reaction. So you're so nervous that you have a physical reaction. Tackle, address or attempt to deal with something. Memorable, unforgettable. It means it will stay in your memory. Techniques, approaches or methods. The workplace, a work or office environment in general. So it means any work or office environment. Reduce anxiety. Make less nervous. Dispel myths. To remove fears, doubts, or false ideas, usually by proving them wrong or unnecessary. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the article and read through it again now that we know what the words mean. We'll do a pronunciation practice, and then you can see down below here or over here that you need to choose 2 of these new vocabulary words and use them in a sentence. That's right. Use it or lose it. Okay, number 1. Nervousness is normal. Practice and prepare. All people feel some physiological, oh, that's the next one. Whoops. Gotta go back. Okay. Snakes, fine. Flying, fine, no problem. Routinely described. So, commonly described. Make your palms sweat. Get that physical nervous reaction. Many ways to approach this anxiety and learn to deliver an unforgettable speech. Part 2, I examine how to apply these techniques or styles or ways of doing things in the workplace, any place people work. Reduce anxiety, make less your feelings of nervousness, and dispel myths like banish or put away, things that are not true. Okay? Great. Guys, we're doing awesome. And remember, if you didn't know any of that stuff, no problem, because you're learning it now, right? You got it. Okay. Let's do a pronunciation practice, then you'll do your activity. Routinely. Repeat after me. Routinely. Awesome. It comes from the noun routine. Okay. Make your palms sweat. Make your palms sweat. Notice the L in palm is silent. We don't pronounce it. Palms. Make your palms sweat. Tackle. 2 syllables. Tackle. Take on or address or attempt to deal with. Memorable. So we're not saying memoir. We're saying memorable. Awesome. Techniques. The workplace. Reduce, so make less. Anxiety. Dispel. Myths. Great. Okay, so choose any 2 of these new words and include them in a sentence. You could say, routinely. I routinely wake up at 8 a.m. and immediately take a shower. I commonly wake up at 8 a.m. and go take a shower right away. So, let's do another 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 2 new words, 2 new original sentences written by you. Because guess what, people? This is your language too. You use it because it's yours. You got it. Awesome. Okay, 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Time to give you your daily reminder that you are doing something awesome for you. You're doing amazing, and I'm super proud of you. If you're here studying with us at SEDA College Online, you are trying to better yourself. And my friend, there's nothing better you can do in the world. And remember, it's all about baby steps. You're not going to be an English genius tomorrow, okay? Baby steps, working hard, being with us here studying, doing your best to look for and seek out, English language material and challenge yourself. That's what it's all about. If it's easy, then you're not learning. If it's a little bit difficult, you're doing the right thing, okay? Just keep trying. I'm right here with you. All right, that's it. So, I will check over your sentences in the comments section. And remember, you can always double check them online or with Grammarly or something like that to see if the grammar is right. It's not always correct, but listen, it's better than nothing, my friends. You are doing great. Okay, tip number 1. And all my instructions here on the side, I have 2 numbers for you. Read these 2 paragraphs one time and summarize the point in one sentence. What are the meanings or synonyms for the words in this color? So again, the blue-green color. The idea is you read it first, just kind of skimming it, looking to get the general idea. And then you're reading and you're scanning and you're looking for the new words in their context and trying to figure out their meaning. And if you use a dictionary, remember, I'm not looking over your shoulder. It's okay to use the dictionary as long as you write it down in your notebook. Even in my class, I love my students using dictionaries. But you gotta write down the words in your notebook so you remember it in your long-term memory. Okay. Numero uno, number 1. Nervousness is normal. Practice and prepare. This is tip 1. All people feel some physiological reactions like pounding hearts and trembling hands. Do not associate these feelings with the sense that you will perform poorly or make a fool of yourself. Some nerves are good. The adrenaline rush that makes you sweat also makes you more alert and ready to give your best performance. Even me, guys, this is about public speaking. I public speak every day. And I'm still a little bit nervous every time. That's okay. I just channel that feeling and I try to be my best and most authentic self with you. You can do it too. The best way to overcome anxiety is to prepare. That's true. Prepare and prepare some more. Take the time to go over your notes several times. Once you have become comfortable with the material, practice a lot. Videotape or video yourself, or get a friend to critique your performance. And remember, feedback, negative or positive, is useful. Okay, so don't take any of it personally. All right, so read the paragraphs again and summarize the point in one sentence and tell us the meaning of the words in the blue-green color. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Quick reaction. What is your, what do you think, just the first idea you have about that paragraph? It doesn't have to be perfectly crafted in the perfect Queen's English. Just get your ideas down on paper. That's what it's all about, my friends. You're doing fantastic. sometimes I even like to go over my notes afterwards and use my highlighter to make the certain things jump out at me. I'm going over it again. Nervousness is normal. Don't worry about it. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, everybody. Let's check out the meanings to these new words. Physiological reactions. Physiological. 6 syllables. Physiological. Awesome, guys. That's great. Physiological reactions. Reactions we can see in someone's body. Okay, like sweaty palms. You can see that happening to them. Pounding. Boom, 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 boom. Repeated and heavy striking or hitting. Trembling. Shaking, usually due to fear or cold. Perform poorly. Not do well. Make a fool of yourself. Make yourself look stupid or silly. Nerves. Feelings of nervousness. Alert. Awake and aware, understanding everything going on around you. Overcome. Succeed in dealing with something. Defeat something. Go over is the same as review. Several is one of those random numbers like a few, a couple, and then several between 4 and 7 items or things. Critique. Evaluate in a detailed and analytical manner. So evaluate, study very meticulously. All right, so as usual, you're going to choose 2 new words and write them in your own original sentence. You got this. I can't wait to see what you've written, my livers. And the rest of you, you're doing super. Join us live sometime. I'd love to see what you can do. And I'm sure you can do amazing things. All right, choose 2. Get your music back. And we're going to do this real quick. We are going to do this in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's just see how quickly you can get English out of your brain. And I bet you're better than you think. Okay, that's it, people. I will check out what you've done in the comments section. Let's move on. Okay, tip 2. Know your audience. I can speak from experience. This is super important. Think about it before we even read the rest of this tip. If you're talking to this group right here of excited looking little young people, are you going to talk to them the exact same way you would talk to a group of adults, maybe in a corporate company? No way. No way, Jose. Or if you were talking to this group of people in the 1950s with their 3D glasses on, all happy because it's the 50s and everything's great, would you talk to them the same way that you would talk to people today? Would they understand the same slang or terms or colloquial phrases? Not always. We learned that if we watch the Michael J. Fox movie Back to the Future. He goes back to the 50s and it's not the same, not even as the 1980s. So it's really important to know your audience. Your speech is about them, not you, right? So let's continue. Before you begin to craft your message, consider who the message is intended for. Learn as much about your listeners as you can. This will help you determine your choice of words, level of information, organization pattern, and motivational statement. So, read the paragraph, summarize the point in one sentence. What are the meanings of the synonyms or the words in blue-green, this color? So, let's take a couple minutes to check it out. Tip number 2. Two minutes. Two minutes exactly, and no music. I'm going to read it over again with you, okay? Know your audience. Your speech is about them, not you. Before you begin to craft your message, consider who the message is intended for. Learn as much about your listeners as you can. This will help you determine your choice of words, level of information, organization pattern, and motivational statement. So what does that mean? How would you summarize that in one sentence? What are the meanings or synonyms for the words in blue-green? So we have craft, determine, choice of words, and motivational statement. What do you think? 40 more seconds. I'll give you a little music for the end. Remember, you can do it. Go. You can do it. Yes, you can. Time is up. All right. So, what does craft mean? Well, craft is another word for create. Determine. That's like decide or make a decision. Choice of words, the words that you choose. Motivational statement is a sentence or an idea that really gives a positive excitement and motivation to your audience. I bet you knew that, didn't you? You guys are really good. Super, super good. Okay, let's move on. Tips 3 and 4. Organize your material in the most effective manner to attain your purpose. And 4, watch for feedback and adapt to it. I am not going to read these for you this time. You're on your own, my friends. You don't need me to hold your hand all the time. I'll give you 3 minutes, and you can try to write 2 sentences, one to summarize each one of these paragraphs, and try to understand some of the meanings of the words highlighted. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The whole idea with me timing you is that sometimes, a little loud, sometimes we take a lot longer than we need to read and process things because we're doing something called second guessing ourselves. We might have a strong first idea, but we say, no, that's no good. We need to believe in ourselves and trust our first instinct. So whatever your first instinct is about what that means in tip number 3 or tip number 4, write it down. Whatever your first instinct on the meaning of a word, write it down. You got this. You can do this. I know it. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Super. You got it. Okay, I think we're getting it. Oh, 3, 2, 1. Super. Super duper. All right. So, let's take a look at what these words mean. And then I will read the paragraphs for you. All right. First one is framework. A basic structure underlying a system concept or text. So it could be an idea that has a framework. Speech. A talk given in front of an audience, sometimes called a lecture. Grab the audience's attention. Have the audience focused on you completely. That's what that means. Grab the audience's attention. Gauge. Yeah, there's a U there, but we're not pronouncing that. Gauge. To measure or assess. So you could use this ruler to gauge how long something is. You can also gauge, assess, see what's going on. Adjust. Adjust. We don't really pronounce the D here. Adjust. To change or adapt. Flexible. Flexible. Able to bend or change. A canned speech, like canned soup. A non-original or cliche speech that's been done before. Devoted, loyal, faithful, or constant. All right, let's go back and read the paragraphs and get them in context. Number 3 tip is organize your material in the most effective manner to attain your purpose. Create the framework for your speech. Write down the topic, general purpose, specific purpose, central idea, and main points. So your speech has a structure. Make sure to grab the audience's attention in the first 30 seconds. That's true, you gotta do that. Number 4, watch for feedback and adapt to it. So keep the focus on the audience. Gauge their reactions. If they are not reacting well to something, adapt and change it so they react better. Get them. Adjust your message and stay flexible. Delivering a canned speech will make sure that you lose the attention of or confuse even the most devoted listeners who love you. Okay, so we're not going to have you write an original sentence for this because I want to get on to number 5 before we run out of time. All right. Number 5. Very important because this is what makes people devoted to you and what allows you to grab their attention. Personality. Let your personality come through. In all my videos, I try to be me 100%. Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I'm silly. Sometimes I say the wrong thing. Sometimes I'm nerdy. But guess what? That's me, Teacher Lydia. I can't be anybody else, can I? And I'm here doing my best for you every day. So that's what it's all about. Being yourself, being proud of yourself. Don't worry about making a fool of yourself. Don't worry about what other people think. Do your best, and that will get your audience's attention. That will have your audience really loving you and enjoying the experience. Be yourself. Don't become a talking head. It's just like a boring person saying the same things that everybody else says. Nothing new or original. And any type of communication. You will establish better credibility if your personality shines through, and your audience will trust what you have to say if they can see you as a real person, right? I'm no robot, neither are you. So, read through this one more time and summarize the point in one sentence. Try to figure out what those phrases in blue-green mean. You're going to have 2 minutes, and then we'll move on to show you what they mean. I'll reveal. Okay? You got them, my friends? Cool. All right. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Go. Let's do some jazz. Some jazz on. Bit of jazz. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us at SEDAcollegeonline.com, YouTube. We're so happy you're here with us. So these are all words that describe personality. You gotta let your personality show. There's no one like you, and that's a great thing. All right, that's it, peeps. Okay, so a talking head, remember I said, was just like a person who looks the same as everybody else, same suit, whatever, just saying the same old thing, totally boring. Establish is like to set the foundation. So you will establish, you'll set the foundation for better credibility. Credibility is your trustworthiness, how much somebody can give you credit or trust you. If your personality shines through it, shows through it, emanates, your audience will trust what you have to say if they can see you as a real person. That is super, super true. If you're like some superhero, Superman, some people are just going to say, whatever, that's like unrealistic. You know, you've got to be a real person to connect with everybody. So, what do you guys think? So far, we've had 5 of the 10 tips. Tomorrow, we will tackle the remaining 5. Which tips were new for you? Which did you find the most useful? So, let's go through the tips one more time. I'll read them to you. You can think about which tips were new, which tips were the most useful. The first tip is nervousness is normal. Practice and prepare. The second tip, know your audience. Your speech is about them and not you. Number 3, organize your material in the most effective way to attain your purpose. That is my idea, or not my idea, an idea I was taught about structural functionalism. The structure of your speech should match the function that it needs to perform. Number 4, watch for feedback and adapt to it. So gauge the audience, look at them and what's going on with them, and bend and be flexible to change things as you go. Let your personality shine through. Number 5. I think that's a super important one. It's really good. All of them are super important and good, but I think when you try to be somebody you're not, everybody sees that it's fake and you don't go anywhere. It's not a good thing for anybody. So the other thing I'd want to invite you to do is think about what new words you've learned today. Did you write them down? Remember, you can rewatch this video anytime at SEDAcollegeonline.com and write down those words that you may have missed. It's always a good idea to watch the video again because you might notice things that you didn't see the first time. Okay? So, again, everybody, thank you so much for being here with me and joining us at SEDA College Online for this live advanced class. This was part 1 of public speaking. We went through 5 tips. Tomorrow we do part 2, the remaining 5 tips. And I think you're awesome, and I'm super excited to be here with you. So I will see you tomorrow. I really appreciate it. I'm Teacher Lydia. Peace out.